Hi, welcome to the third and final recording in our pre-application workshop. This portion will outline what to expect after submitting your online grant application.
At this point, you're probably curious about how applications are reviewed and scored. Neighborhood matching grant applications are reviewed in a two-phase process that takes roughly 60 days from the application submission date. Once you've submitted your application, you will be assigned a staff liaison who will work with you to finalize your application. Your staff liaison will review your application and reach out to clarify any outstanding questions.
After the staff review, our board members will review the application and pose any questions. This provides you the chance to respond to application questions before the final review. Finally, the review board will meet to review and vote on grant applications. One board considers requests of $10,000 or less, and a second board considers requests from $10,001 to $25,000. Applicants are encouraged to attend the board meeting in order to advocate on behalf of their project. This is your chance to explain why the project will benefit your community.
Applications are reviewed based on the following criteria. You should keep the scoring criteria in mind as you are preparing your application. For an application to be approved, it must score an average of 60 out of the 100 points.
The largest scoring criteria is project design. This demonstrates that you and your neighbors are ready to undertake the project. It also shows that you have thought through the details and that you all can realistically complete the project within 1 year.
These are some pointers to ensure that your application is as thorough as possible. We encourage you to verify neighborhood and project eligibility with city staff before beginning an application. This also allows us to brainstorm potential resources. Perhaps there is something in your application that we cannot fund, but we know of a group that can fund it. This helps us connect with you with resources early.
If your neighborhood wants to undertake more than one project, you can apply in one application, as long as you provide a reasonable plan to complete multiple projects within the 1 year time frame.
When gathering quotes, remember to include sales tax, delivery fees, and other added expenses. It's important to know exactly how much it will cost to get goods and/or services to your project site and, if necessary, installed. We ask that you collect at least 2 quotes for all purchases over $1,000. Your neighborhood may select which vendor you go with, but this helps you ensure that you are getting a fair quote.
Remember to get written permission from property owners when applicable and to submit all documentation, including match commitments, contribution letters, and volunteer pledge sheets.
As mentioned earlier, the Neighborhood Matching Grants Program uses an online application system. Remember that you do not have to finish your application all in one sitting, but you can save your application as you go and come back and complete it at any time. Grant activities can only start after contract signing, which takes place about 12 weeks after the application deadline. Volunteer hours performed before contract signing cannot be counted toward the match, and purchases made before contract signing are not eligible for NMG funding.
Give yourself plenty of time to think through the details and to create a project timeline before submitting an application. Think about where the project will take place, how much of it neighbors could complete versus hiring others, and how you will take care of future costs associated with the project. Projects may begin once a contract is signed, and they must be completed within 1 year. Lastly, remember, you don't have to be an expert in anything to complete an application. We are here to help. Just pick up the phone and give us a call.
Once you sign your contract, you can officially begin your project. You will be asked to attend a contract signing wherein we will all explain the details of your contract payment. The program does not award funds at the beginning of the project, but reimburses neighborhoods after they have purchased supplies or services.
Once all necessary receipts and paperwork are submitted for reimbursement, the city will mail a check to the grantee within 30 days. Neighborhoods must complete a W-9 and vendor registration form before requesting reimbursement. It helps if neighborhood organizations have a bank account, but we can work around this if necessary. Lastly, neighborhood matching grant awards are non-taxable. If you need more information, please consult a qualified tax professional.
You will be asked to complete an online report every other month to inform our staff of your project's progress. This is also a chance for you to update your staff liaison on purchases, activities, and volunteer hours that have taken place within recent weeks. Remember that your staff liaison will be available to help you throughout the entire life cycle of the grant.
Once your project is finished, including volunteer hours and neighborhood contributions, you can ask to close your grant. At this point, your neighborhood will be eligible to apply for another project. As a reminder, grant projects must be completed within 1 year. It's important to recognize volunteers along the way. Remember to celebrate neighborhood accomplishments, both big and small.
Now we will quickly highlight some recent matching grant projects. Remember, these projects do not represent everything that matching grant funding can be used for, but are a sample of what neighborhoods have done to date. As seen on this slide, many neighborhoods have received matching grant funds for entrance signs.
Other neighborhoods have received funding for decorative pole signs, information signs, and street toppers.
Many neighborhoods have received grant funds for public art projects, including murals, mosaic benches, and decorative bridge railings.
Others have constructed playgrounds, improved parks, hosted festivals, and built nature trails.
Several neighborhoods have partnered with schools on matching grant projects. Madison Park partnered with Pinewood Elementary to highlight the area's history. Winterfield neighborhood has joined forces with Winterfield Elementary twice, once to construct a shared community garden and another time to help support student symphony performances. McCrory Heights worked with Oaklawn Language Academy to create a beautiful mosaic. This mosaic is a win-win as it welcomes people into the neighborhood and beautifies the school as well.
Many neighborhoods across Charlotte have started community gardens with the help of a neighborhood matching grant. Neighborhoods have received garden support from the county's Parks and Rec Department, as well as the North Carolina Cooperative Extension. This is a good example of where our staff might be able to connect your neighborhood with additional resources that strengthen your application and ultimately improve your project.
Other projects supported by neighborhood matching grants include festivals, birdhouses, security projects, and little free libraries. Remember, the projects we have highlighted are only examples of what grant funding can be used for. We encourage you to think of a project that will have the greatest impact for your community. What will your neighborhood think of next?
This concludes the final segment of our online pre-application workshop. Please feel free to reach out to our staff if you have questions or would like to discuss a potential project. Our community engagement team breaks the city into 4 service areas. Let us know if you need help determining which service area your neighborhood is in.
As a reminder, our application deadlines are March 1st, June 1st, and September 1st. We look forward to working with you and receiving your completed application.